Alagang Amoso, Associated Marine Officers and Seamen's Union of the Philippines. Ang programang para sa mga Filipino seafarers at kanilang pamilya. Maghahatid ng impormasyon, magbibigay ng inspirasyon, at tatalakay sa kanilang mga sitwasyon, kalagayan at iba pang mga pangangailangan. Alagang Amoso. Kasama si Camille Simbulan dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service at Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko.
Magandang araw po, pagbati, and welcome to Alagang Amosup, ang serbisyo publiko sa radyong hatid ng Associated Marine Officers and Seamen's Union of the Philippines o AMOSUP at ng Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Sa programang ito ay pinag-uusapan natin ang iba't ibang programs and welfare services ng AMOSUP para sa mga miyembro at dependents ng ating union. Tinatalakay din po natin dito ang mga napapanahong issue tungkol sa mga karapatan at kapakanan ng mga magigiting nating Filipino at Filipina seafarers or sea-based overseas Filipino workers. Ang Alagang Amosup ay napapakinggan din po sa flagship station na Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko 738 kHz tuwing linggo, alas 7 hanggang alas 7:30 ng gabi. Special shout-out syempre sa mga miyembro ng Amosup at sa lahat ng mga Pilipinong mandaragat sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo na nakatutok sa atin.
Alagang Amoso dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service at Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko.
Again, wini-welcome po muli namin kayo sa isa na namang makabuluhan at interesting na episode ng Alagang Amoso para sa ating espesyal na talakayan sa araw na ito na may temang Seafarers at the Forefront, deklarasyon ng pagsusulong sa karapatan, kaligtasan at kapakanan ng mga Pilipinong mandaragat. Makakasama natin ang dalawang natatanging babae na patunay na ang industriya ng maritima ay hindi lamang para sa kalalakihan, kundi bukas din ito sa mga kababaihang matatag, may puso at may determinasyon. Let us all welcome on Alagang Amosup, nagbabalik si Captain Jasmine Labarda at of course, si Second Officer Captain na rin with Master Mariner License, si Miss Maribel Singian. Welcome to Alagang Amosup.
Maraming salamat, Camille, and good day.
Good afternoon, and I'm very honored to be here today.
Ayan. Maraming salamat po sa pagpapaunlak nyo sa amin. Siyempre, fresh na fresh kayo from the recently concluded International Conference on the Seafarers' Human Rights, Safety, and Welfare. Naganap po yan sa Diamond Hotel dito sa Manila at talagang nag-gather po dyan ang iba't ibang mga diplomats at mga stakeholders po, mga seafarers, welfare organization, and of course, governments na may kinalaman po sa maritime industry. Talagang we all came together to be able to come up with the outcome document na mamaya po siguro pwede niyong i-share sa amin kung ano ba itong nilalaman ng outcome document nitong conference na ito. Pero bago tayo magsimula, konting pakilala lang po kung ilang years na kayong nagbabarko. Ayan. Sige,
Go.
Captain Labarda.
Nagbabarko 6 years with Maersk Line and 16 years with my current employer. So, 22 years in total. So,
Grabe.
26 in total. Since nag-cadet, nag-aral ako sa MAAP, 26. 26 years. Pero, yung pagbabarko is about 22 going to 23 years.
Wow, mahigit 2 dekada na si Kat. Hindi halata. Happy lang, di ba? Full of love and passion for what you
good
do.
vibes lang lagi.
Yes. And, Captain Maribel.
I started sailing when I was 18. So today I'm 28. So I'm sailing for 1 decade.
Wow. Grabe yung experience nyo, Talagang go girl power sa maritime industry. And nakakatuwa kasi ang dami na ngayon na talagang inaabot yung talagang rurok ba? Yung peak ng inyong careers, talagang you really strive to become at the helm of the your companies, no, your vessels. So ano naman, konting kwento, no, kung ano yung pinaka hindi nyo malilimutan na experience bilang isang babaeng seafarer. O sana positive experience, syempre, women empowerment in the maritime industry. Go ahead, Captain.
Ang hindi ko makakalimutang experience sa pagbabarko ko, ma'am, is when we were able to save 29 lives at sea.
Wow.
And so far, it is by far my most memorable and my highest achievement in life.
Wow, that's so inspiring. Saan po yun? Saan?
South of Spain.
Okay. So it's boat of migrants or?
Yeah, they are like migrants, and they were left at sea for 2 weeks without food and water. Some of their colleagues already died at sea. Then we received a distress message. So we direct to their position, and we find their boat adrift. And without hesitation, my captain, the company, the ship owners responded. And we take actually they are 31. But unfortunately, 2 of them passed away in our ship.
But wow, 29 souls.
29 souls. And we have safely delivered them to Las Palmas, Spain.
Wow.
Where they were openly welcomed and treated.
Talagang memorable nga talaga yun.
Yeah.
Kapag save ka ng buhay. Yes. Diba? Cap.
Thank you, Camille. There's so many stories to share kasi of all too many to mention. Lahat maganda and maraming dapat ipagpasalamat. Pero siguro I will go so kung ano yung recent lang and then what is close to my heart, so to give inspiration din sa iba. Yung mga nakasama, yung mga foreigners, when I say foreigners kasi pag hindi mo kalahi, foreigners, di ba?
Correct.
So, ibang lahi, puti, or ibang Asian country, na in the way they teach you, kahit hindi ka nila kalahi. So, they impart knowledge and skills sa'yo. And then, when I always share it recently para ma-inspire din yung dream mo, kapag sigad na it's his time. Kasi I always say, I just wrote it yung date before my birthday. And then, 2 weeks before that, nagulat ako, yun na yung binigay na promotion on board sa akin to captain on board. So, kahit nakatago ka na, basta gusto ni Lord, talagang ibibigay niya sa'yo. And then, yung sabihin sa akin ng chief mate ko, na, nung kasi second officer ako, tapos chief mate ako, kami magkasama sa barko. Marami na siyang trinain. And then, I purposely requested na siya yung maging chief mate ko. Nung umuwi kami, sabi niya, you did a great job. Sa captain, gano'n. Sabi niya, ang sarap makipagtrabaho sa'yo. And with yung respect na nakuha natin also sa mga Europeans, even other nationalities, when naging kapitan tayo doon, andun yung pagrespeto nila sa trabaho natin, tsaka sa what we do. So that's what's really very memorable for me.
And yung sense of fulfillment, Kasi doon din nabuboost yung na-empower yung isang babae, yung isang tao in general, 'di ba? Kapag alam mong may nagtitiwala sa iyo, 'di ba? Na may nagtitiwala sa kakayahan mo. Okay, ganda ng mga sharing nito. Ang daming nakukuha ng mga sige, go.
Sometimes we only need one person to believe in us.
Meron dyan, pero sometimes you just need to have yourself.
Yeah.
And everything else will follow.
Correct.
I love that.
Love that.
Ang daming quotable quotes. Okay, so now, let's jump right into our topic talaga today, which is yung recently concluded na conference nga, which to me is very interesting. Ay napaka-successful ng turnout. So ano yung i-share niyo naman sa amin yung experience niyo doon sa conference? How was it? How does it feel to be there alongside all of those people all across the industry bilang isang seafarer? Well, to me personally, mahalaga yung representation ng mga seafarers sa ganong klaseng mga pagpupulong, mga ganong klase na okasyon. Dahil nakita talaga nila kayo in the flesh. Hindi lang yung pinag-uusapan yung statistics, hindi lang pinag-uusapan yung experiences nyo based on mga research studies. Kayo talaga yon, di ba? So, ano naman yung pakiramdam being there in the conference?
So, as a seafarer, it is very important that there is a seafarer representation on the occasion where they talk about the protection of seafarers. And I feel so grateful that there are people, government officials, people all around the world, unions, diplomats, companies come together to talk about on what help they can still give to the seafarers, on how to give them a more sustainable, safer, and better protection at sea. And as what His Excellency Carlos have mentioned after the conference, wow, I'm very grateful to have met you, both Captain Jas and me, because finally mas na-appreciate daw nila yung work nila because nakikita nila na kung para kanino yung ginagawa nila. So, it was very amazing experience.
That's good to hear. Ikaw, Kap.
I could say natural high na hindi andun ka sa lugar ng those are the ones who make the policy and the ship owners as well, tapos mga representative ng countries, mga ministries of transportation, ambassadors ng mga countries. So amazing, and then to be seated right next to them sa press con, natural high, parang saan kami dito lulugar. So it was one of the best privileges that was given to us by AMOSUP, kasi by inviting the active seafarers, the conference was grounded na okay, may buhay talaga tong ginagawa nila. And they were really surprised when they learned na sumasakay actively sila, and then babae pa. So, and then they were able to hear the stories and lessons na shinare namin. It was great. It was very fantastic to be there.
It was a product. Ano ba sabihin? Like, mas matutugunan nila, ma'am, yung problema because naririnig nila first hand from seafarers.
Kaya mahalaga talaga yung representation, no, ng mga seafarers. Lalo na, and ang ganda nung naging kinalabasan ng conference kasi sa Pilipinas ginawa, and we are still the top seafaring country, seafaring nation in the world. Diba? More than a quarter of seafarers are Filipinos on board the world's fleet. So, talagang tama lang, no? It's just perfect na dito sa Manila ginawa itong conference na to. So, sino naman po yung, although nabanggit nyo na kanina yung ibang mga na-meet nyo, pero sino po yung talagang na-starstruck kayo na mga eksperto o yung mga prominent figure sa industriya na nakadaupang palad nyo doon sa conference?
One of the unahin ko na siguro si Maribel. Kasi it was my first time to meet her there. Parang sabi nga na, as she said, parang ang tagal na natin magkakilala. And then His Excellency Locsin was there. And from Dole, si Attorney Leonard, and when I met him, called me Leonard. Di ba ganda, Attorney Serrano. Pero ang mga moderators napakagaling ng mga discussions doon. And one that stood out was Honorable Maria Teresa Almojela.
I agree.
Yeah.
Ito yung panel discussion on women.
No, it's protecting seafarers in crisis situations.
Okay. Crisis situations.
Yeah. As we met way back in 2019, I think that was the 100 years of ILO. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. Pero doon kami doon ko siya Geneva, doon ko siya unang na-meet. And then when nag-share tayo during their panel discussion, when she asked for my name, naalala niya ako. I was humbled there na naalala ko ni Madam. Yeah. So it was so sweet na makita ko siya doon, same sa place na napaka-importante, discussing the same kung bakit din ako nandoon sa sa Switzerland or ILO that time. And si Madam Sonia, Ang daming matatalino, ang gagaling nila. Yeah.
Naging guest din natin siya dito and talagang napakaraming insights ni ma'am. No, ang dami niyang plano sa maritime industry natin na sana mangyari kasi talagang nakaka-excite to yung mga plans na gusto i-roll out ng gobyerno natin for the seafarers and for the industry as a whole.
And our family and friends in Singapore.
Oh yeah.
Si Larry, they were great, and from ITF, si Gina Kim. It was a good. And
affiliates of
yes.
the International Transport.
And I've also seen Miss Mai from OSTOM, and then matagal ko na hindi na meet din si Daryl from Solstad, and from V-Ship si Captain oh my God, ninong ko pa naman.
Anyway, how about you, Captain?
Ladera, sorry.
I have met 200 and more amazing people in that day. Pero I'm more grateful to have met Captain Jasmine. Captain Jasmine, I have already know her from a long time. Through Facebook postings. So when I met her, it's like I think I've known her for the longest time. Then I really told her that I'm very grateful you didn't give up because you have paved the way for other females to follow. Because ma'am, by that time, during their time, they don't have seniors to look up to. They don't have anyone to follow. So they are like they're making their own road, trial and error. So when I met her, like, I told her, I'm very grateful for you because you are my inspiration. You have paved the way for us women to follow. And ang daming magagaling, matatalinong tao, and they're so humble. And ngayon masasabi ko na they are really willing to help the government, the diplomats, other countries. They just want to know what is really the problem, so they can really address it further.
And we see really the synergy, the collaboration, but the tripartism, as we always say, how important it is for the government, for the private sector, and for seafarers organizations to work together, of course with the participation of seafarers yourselves. So ang ganda ng naging resulta ng participation ninyo. So gusto ko lang din i-add na talagang si Captain Labarda, trailblazer talaga yan. From the Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific, and she's also one of the founders of AMOSUP Women way back in 2018. So of course, andyan din sina Captain Haveliana, sina Chief Engineer Nina Da Silva, si Des Penales, diba? Ang daming magagaling na babaeng seafarers. And ang ganda na na-highlight kayo. Diba? Na-highlight kayo dito sa event na to. Of course, Maribel also. Trailblazer din yan sa generation niya. Kasi kami medyo older millennials. Ikaw pa Gen Z ka yata. So, di ba, ang ganda na as time passes by, mas maraming babae ang nai-inspire to explore the maritime profession with you as their role models. No? So, punta naman tayo. Ano yung mga napag-usapang topics doon sa conference na talagang tumatak sa inyo? Bukod doon sa panel on the protecting the seafarers in times of crisis situations, ano pa yung ibang mga napag-usapan doon na mga paksa? I'm sure meron sa about women, recruitment and retention of women in the maritime industry.
Actually, we have Manila Declaration, and we made 8 commitments.
Sige, pwede bang pasadahan natin yung mga 8 commitments?
Uphold human rights at all times, fully enforce Maritime Labor Convention, improve crisis preparedness, respect seafarers' right to refuse to sail in high-risk areas without reprisal, promote corporate human rights due diligence, foster inclusion and women empowerment, ensure a just transition amid digitalization and decarbonation, and harness international cooperation for maritime education and training.
Wow.
So yung pinaka
Those are the eight,
Eight
salient
commitments.
points of the eight
The Maritime
commitments.
Declaration.
The Manila Declaration.
Manila Declaration.
Which was the outcome document of this. How was it? How did it feel when you saw all of these commitments na talagang nag-signify, lahat ng tao na dumalo doon sa conference, they signify that they support these 8 commitments?
On a seafarer's point of view, usually because seafaring is often neglected profession, like unsung. Like right now, during the Geneva Convention, I think, they said that they have amended that the seafarers are now recognized as key workers.
Yes.
In that manner, seafarers are now entitled for a better protection, fair treatment, medical attention, and to uphold human rights. As a seafarer, it's a nice feeling that people, government officials come together to talk about on how to safeguard our rights, and not only to just let us work. They also think about our welfare. So we are very appreciative of this declaration.
How about you, Captain Labarda?
I remember, pinag-uusapan lang natin to when we were starting the AMOSUP Women. No one has heard about the stories of women at sea. And then we were talking about, they need to know the stories. And nung nag-join tayo sa ITF, they were surprised to know the stories of women. Kasi wala pang babae nagbabarko that time. Kasi ang Philippines, kailan, mga 90s lang nagsimula sa Philippine Military Academy and Philippine Merchant Marine Academy. And then, sumunod ang MAAP, which was 2003, nakapag-produce ng women. So, very recent lang. So, during my time, nung nagbabarko, hindi lang sa akin, not only for me that time, hindi ko pa pinapansin eh. Nakita ko na yung status or ng work conditions of seafarers and with regards to human rights. So I was thinking like, ito yung nadadanas ng father ko. And then I was talking to sa mga kasamahan namin pag may problema sila. Ang tagal na ng pagbabarko and these things are being talked. Tapos may mga situations na for women. And then nahihirapan mag-apply, hindi na ko-consider ang mga babae sa pagbabarko. So these things have to be raised up, malaman ng mga kinauukulan. And sabi ko nga doon, when the international conference for the very first time talking about human rights, safety and well-being, andito ako sa Pilipinas and I was joined there. It's just like the universe telling me, see, this is what you've been talking for the past 30 years. Tapos,
it's happening.
Yeah, ito na. So, basically, and I hope kasi sa pagbabarko, it's a very wide jurisdiction. Meron ding iba na ayaw nung may jurisdiction. They will just pass it on. Kasi ang daming sovereigns eh. And then may international sea pa. And then the conditions for seafarers, hindi naman siya katulad sa pag-work sa lupa na may kontrata, na may fixed, na may employment. It's contractual all the time. So, lahat ng mga workers ng pagbabarko, so you can say, sa lupa, nangyayari rin yon kahit saang trabaho. Pero more so, naitatago pag sa barko eh. Lalo na pagdating ng mga nagbabarko, kinakalimutan na lang din namin, kinakalimutan na natin, wala na nagsasabi. Pero, and I always get it, sasabihin ng mga kasamahan, makakilala natin, sanay na kami sa ganyan eh. Akala namin ganito to. May naririnig ko lang akala ko ganito kasi eh. So no, it's a working environment is to be safe for all. Diba? So,
it's a universal human right.
And then I can nagugulat ako na makita, marinig na parang magugulat sila, bakit naghahanap ka ng mas maganda? Parang na-normalize na kasi for many years ang tagal ng industry. Ganito, dito may corruption, may tawag doon yung kapag sa mga walang due diligence.
Yung human rights due diligence.
Ipapasa na lang ulit sa sa workers itself, the company, wala na silang responsibility. So nowadays, it's all connected. So now maingat na, magiging maingat
May
na
accountability
ang mga, yes,
na
may
ang
accountability.
industriya.
May corporate responsibility
Across
na,
the
yeah.
supply chain, across the
Yes.
value chain, everyone's trying to do their part, which is really a good progress, no, over the years.
And I'm very happy to see it in this lifetime. Although there's still it's a journey. There's still
Yes.
more work to do. Pero parang this is for all na nauna sa atin, and also for the present, and also for those
future
yes.
generations. So it's very reassuring that the doors have opened up for seafarers to be involved, for everyone to be working harmoniously together. And diba, even if we know that, it could be complicated at times, but people, institutions are willing to sit down and talk about the important issues, no?
But it will never happen if we just kept quiet. Walang
Yes.
naglakas ng loob to bring it to the table. Yeah.
So the courage of those, sabi mo nga, yung who came before you, ang laking bagay nun na hindi nagpadala sa pressure. Di ba? Kasi syempre, ang barko, yun ang inyong workplace, yun din ang tirahan ninyo. Di ba? Everything happens within the ship. Seclude or nakalayo kayo ng ilang buwan. There's nowhere else to go. So the way you handle yourself whenever you experience something on board, talagang it takes a lot of courage, no? Para to hold everything together and to still be able to do your job well. So talagang
And another thing, yung nandun tayo sa conference, what really amazes me, kasi lagi nila sinabi na it's the first in the Philippines. Ang galing, looking back, hindi talaga naghintay ang Philippines. I mean, they had the POA before. They thought about it sa mga workers. And then, when they started having women sa military and then now sa merchant marine, hindi sila naghintay ng ganitong conference, human rights. The stakeholders, the ones, yung mga nagtatag nasa government that time, yung mga ship owners noon, tumanggap ng mga babae, nagsuporta.
and of course, leaders like Dr. Oka
Yes.
and Captain Oka before
Yes.
was always believed in women, the skills of women.
So kung hindi yun nagsimula sa kanila, ito na yung nasimulan na nila yun. Tapos ito na yung marami sa mga fruits of their labors talaga.
Tuloy-tuloy pa. I was talking to Vice Admiral Santos and he said na dumadami yung requirement ng mga female cadets sa Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific, which is a really, really, really good news for women in the maritime industry. Of course, let's not forget, ang dami ring mga initiatives across the sector, no? We have ITF, Women at Sea, which was also launched early this year. We have the Global Maritime Forum, Diversity at Sea, All Aboard Alliance, and everyone's efforts leads to the path na we want to see a maritime industry that is inclusive, that is equitable, diba? That's diverse, and everybody has this same level of respect to each and every single one. Each and every single seafarer on board.
And also, I remember there, Camille, if you may, sa Norway and Denmark Maersk Line, nandun sa conference, that you can really see sila yung mga nagsimulang nagtiwala na magkaroon ng babae. Kasi ako, when I started sa Maersk Line na nung way back 1999, so I was a scholar of Maersk Line. So dalawa kami ni Grinabel Chavez Duran, president of TORM. That was Maersk Line. And then when I came on board sa Maersk Line, my chief mate ng Singapore, Rita Yan Yok Ming, and I believe she's the first captain. So that time, na-meet ko na yung first captain or chief mate ng Singapore. So it's the Europeans, it's the Asian countries. Andun sila, nagsimula na sila doon. Kaya ngayon, naintindihan ko why they are talking about sustainability. Hindi yung papasukan lang natin sila and then later on nasa na. It also goes for all men din. Kasi marami rin nagsisimula ng pagbabarko and then hindi na ipagpapatuloy. Kaya isa rin sa topic na pinag-uusapan doon na, although hindi na masyadong na-focus, pero naintindihan ko is to sustainability. Kasi pag walang ng barko, pag wala nang magsusupply ng mga
Yun ang sinasabi nila na tinatawag nilang human sustainability.
Yes.
Kaya rin we see a lot of efforts talaga go into trying to really safeguard the rights and well-being of seafarers at sea. Okay, since mag-overtime na tayo. So final message na lang sa mga nanonood sa atin. I know that you're still full of inspiration from the conference, no?
For me, I would like to commend the Philippines for really making a bold declaration to the world to safeguard the rights of Filipino seafarers. And also, I would like to encourage other women to join the fleet of women in the maritime.
Mm-hmm.
This is our world.
I love that. Okay, Captain Labarda.
Thank you for having us here again, Camille, and I enjoyed 3 days ba yun? 2 days? This is 2 days sa Diamond Hotel sa conference na Maribel. It was a great time. It's everyone's effort itong nangyari na ito. When I shared, I remembered speaking with yourself and sa Amo Soup na when we started the Amo Soup Women, it's for all. Hindi lang siya ma-up. Na kahit anong graduates yan. And when I work at sea, sa barko, lagi ko sinasabi, I don't look at the people kung saan sila naggaling na school, kung Filipino man yan, at di ko na tititignan kung anong lahi sila. Kasi ganun din sa akin, na ayokong titignan nila naggaling akong Pilipinas or babae ako. So kung ganun yung gusto kong matanggap, yun ang ibibigay ko sa kanila. So my message is, we have this declaration. It should be, hindi na kailangan talaga nito eh. It's basic human rights. We shouldn't, it's basic human language, alam na natin to. Pero sometimes, ganun ang human beings, kailangan may papel, may ganyan. Pero sana, ma-appreciate natin na everybody deserves respect. And importante rin yung discipline and integrity for all nationalities, for all genders. Kung ano yung na-expect natin, yun din ang bigay natin sa isa't isa, yung respeto. Kasi, and understanding, everyone, I was there na sinabi nila na, so marami ng babae, so ayaw na namin dito kasi alis na kami. That's not the main point there. What we're asking only is equal opportunities. Na wag mong titignan na porke pagbabarko is babae lang dapat ito. Tignan mo yung kapasidad. We don't have the same physical capabilities, but it doesn't mean na one field should be just be for one gender lang. It's for that, and that's what human beings are to be for. Wag mong titignan kung ano siya, kung saan siya galing, or kung anong meron siya, anong itsura niya. You look at the heart, you look at the light, and what everybody meron tayong maibibigay sa table. So, good luck and all the best sa lahat.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your messages. Okay, now we have come to the end of the show. Muli maraming salamat sa inyong, sa ating dalawang kapitana na inspirasyon talaga natin ever since. Maraming salamat din sa mga viewers natin sa inyong pagsubaybay. And syempre, salamat din sa mga kasama natin sa Radyo Pilipinas, si Ms. Susan Aison, Milo Jonela, Jay Arevalo, Hero Lucero, Erwin Peñano, Jerome Toledo, Justin Osayas, at sa kaamusup natin na si Miss Lara San Juan. Maraming salamat din po muli kay Captain Jasmine Labarda and Captain Maribel Singian sa pagbabahagi ng inyong karanasan, kaalaman at inspirasyon. Tunay nga na sa likod ng bawat paglalayag ay may mga kababaihang matapang na nakikibaka para sa karapatan, kaligtasan at kapakanan ng mga Pilipinong mandaragat. Naway magsilbi itong paalala na ang laban para sa mas ligtas, makatao at makatarungang industriya ng maritima ay para sa lahat, lalaki man o babae. Muli, maraming salamat po at mabuhay ang ating mga seafarers. Pagbati rin po muli sa lahat ng miyembro at dependents ng Amo Soup na siyang inspirasyon at puso ng lahat ng mga programa at serbisyo ng ating unyon. Atin din pong subaybayan ang programang Alagang Amo Soup sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service at Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko 738 kHz tuwing linggo alas 7 hanggang alas 7:30 ng gabi. Ako po si Camille Simbulan at ito ang Alagang Amo Soup.
All aboard sa talakayan. Palalimin pa ang inyong kaalaman. Alagang Amo Soup dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service at Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko.